G'day guys, my name's OnRoad Taz, and in today's video, in our endless quest to slim this bike down, I'm going to try and get rid of these big crash bar lollipop indicators that the XVS 650 comes stock with. So let me go point of view and we'll get into it. This video is brought to you by the Tasmanian Organic Coffee Co. It's coffee with conscience. Single source, organic, Colombian or Himalayan coffee from Tasmania, Australia. Guys, this video is going to break down into a couple of different parts. We're going to have to get rid of this to sort of remove the front indicators. And we're going to relocate the position of the indicators to these. When I was stripping the bike down, I was very particular in not removing these. They held the crash bars on, but the vision I had in my mind was that that would swing around, and that could potentially be where the front indicators are going to mount. We're not going to take the back guard off yet, but I'm going to remove this section and I'm going to reroute the indicators to this point here. And I'm probably going to have to construct or fabricate some pieces like that to mount there, to mount the indicators to. From there, we're probably going to have to rewire certain sections, and we're probably going to have to actually install an LED flasher relay so that they don't hyper flash or just stay on, provide a bit of load. So I've got the flasher relay, I've got some load resistors in case the flasher relay doesn't work, and all in, these are actually the indicators that I'm going to use. So they're tiny. In an ideal world, I'd like to strip the indicators off completely, but that's not going to happen because it's not legal. So I bought the smallest indicators I could find. I think they're going to look great. Righto guys, time for a reality check. I have wired in an LED flasher and it didn't work. I've used a LED flasher that's wired for this bike and is meant to solve this problem, and it didn't work. I have put load resistors on and it didn't work. I've combined load resistors and flashers and it didn't work. So what I've done is bought some halogen 26 watt mini cat eye indicators, and I'm done with LED. This is not worth the hassle. So I'm going to replace them with them and try and undo some of the spaghetti I've made of the wiring loom and get these on the bike so that I've got functioning indicators and I don't have to worry about all the rubbish to do with that lot. Oh, the other thing is that that one doesn't even work. It's dead on arrival, and that may be causing some of the problem. where I'm just not getting a complete circuit. But again, I'm done with them. I'm going to pull them off and we'll get rid of them, and we'll try and get something that actually works, that's not actually that much smaller than these LEDs. I've put the stock Denso flasher back in. I've repaired the splice that I did into the wiring loom there. I've taken off the dead LED indicators, and so we're going to set to work putting these halogen indicators on. Because the halogen indicators have bigger wiring, fatter gauge wiring, and a bigger thread, I just need to drill this out to get them to fit. Installed. Look pretty cool. I'll neaten up paint a little bit, but that is basically what it's going to look like. So I will set to work installing the bullet connectors, wiring it up, see if we can get it to work. This is some convoluted tubing. Just going to create an extension lead, or a set of extension leads to connect to this back left one, because otherwise it puts a fair bit of pressure on the connection. Righto guys, I've wired it up. It's all just sort of hanging there at the moment, but it's time for the first test, legit first test. Perfect. Righto, okay, not working. Yep. Oh yes. Thank God. Perfect. No hyper flash, nothing. Alright, so we're just going to clean this up a little bit and be done with it. Next couple of weeks I've jerry-rigged a number plate holder out of the moustache that held the indicators and the number plate. I just literally cut it off with the angle grinder, and that'll sit there. It'll hold the number plate. It'll be legal and rideable, and we'll get to the back guard in a couple of weeks' time. To just finish this up, just push these in. These are bar ends. They come on new handlebars. These are 7/8. I always keep them because they're super handy for things like this. Guys, after the LED indicators kicking me in the guts for a couple of days, this is what's come out of it. I wired in LED indicators, didn't work, and that was to be expected. So I put a flasher unit on, that didn't work. I put a different brand of flasher unit on, that didn't work. I wired in load resistors, that didn't work. I teamed up load resistors with flasher units and it still didn't work. And then I spat it and ordered these Oxford micro halogen indicators. They're 26 watts, they're 12 volts. Took a couple of days to get here. They came from thirdgear.com.au and they wired in quickly, efficiently, and it allowed me to return the wiring harness to almost stock after slicing into it a couple of different times in a couple of different ways to try and get the LED indicators to work. We'll fire them up. That's it there. You can see that they're flashing at the right rate. That's the rear, no hyper flash. Rear, again, no hyper flash, working perfectly. One thing I didn't realise is that with LED indicators and not enough draw or load on the circuit, some of the lights in the Speedo and binnacle would go out, and that was annoying. Apparently you can wire in a diode in underneath here, but I was just so over it that I wanted to get it working quickly, efficiently, without any more messing around. So I went for those Oxford micro halogen indicators. Just to get back on the road quickly and efficiently, I just cut the arms that the indicators sat on the moustache. Just put a blanking grommet in the end to neaten it up. That gets us back on the road. I'm super happy with how that's come out. I think it looks really good. They're in the perfect position. They're nice and low, they're wide, they're still theoretically legal. I'm really happy with that. Bike's coming along nicely, in my opinion. There's a bunch of jobs to go. I hope you'll continue to join me. I'm going to run inside and start editing this video because it's been a long time coming, guys. Till I see you next time, I'm out.